I've been in the game too long to play by somebody else's rules. So I'm out. I'm done. I'm not taking a picture. Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. I am Raphael and I'm here to review part 3 of the reunion to season 14 of the Real Housewives who are not going to be in the group picture of Beverly Hills. So we start the last part of the reunion right where we left off, and I didn't get a chance to review the second part, so I'll do a quick recap now. It was mostly Dorit and Kyle going back and forth, and Kyle constantly dropping her lucky crystal every 5 seconds. Oops, I dropped it. Oops, I dropped it. Oops, I dropped it. And I'm just watching her do this like, Kyle, please throw that crystal in the garbage before you end up in the next Conjuring movie. Like, who knows what kind of demon she let into her life now just by doing that. You know, I'm a big believer of signs, and that's a really bad premonition of what's yet to come for Kyle. So Kyle, if I was you, you know, I would get Alison Dubois on speed dial, and maybe she could, you know, send you some holy water or something, but yeah, you're in danger. So then Miss Money and Miss More Money come out, aka Jennifer Tilly and Kathy Hilton, aka Cha-ching! And Kathy, she looks pretty. I'm not sure how to feel about this whole outfit that she has on. You know, this cape situation, you know, like she looks like Batman. Like, who are you gonna go save? Kyle? You know, and Jennifer Tilly, you know, she can never do anything wrong in my eyes. I've been a fan of her forever, so she looks fine. So then now we're here, and now we have Dorit and Sutton going at each other. Dorit, she's accusing Sutton of, the problem with you, Sutton, is that you think that you're superior because of your money. You have to buy people off to be friends with you. Sutton is just like, what are you talking about? Who did I have to buy off? Who did I have to buy off? Honey, here goes Dorit. Dorit has been going for her Oscar nomination moment ever since this whole reunion started, because she looks at Sutton and she's like, oh, and here she comes. Here she comes. Like, she swears that this is a telenovela, right? And that is rich coming from you, Dorit, because aren't you the most materialistic and the most superficial one on this cast? Every other episode in the past, you used to brag about, oh, I got the latest Louis Vuitton, the latest Prada, the Gucci, the Prada, the Balenciaga, the Miu Miu, you know, all of that. Was that not you? But now, because you don't got it like that, because that bank account is looking a little wonky, now, you know, money doesn't mean a thing. The ring doesn't mean a thing. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You were the same one doing photo shoots in front of glass doors in these said outfits, like. But now money doesn't mean a thing, right? Okay. Bose tells Sutton that she doesn't like how she was trying to make her out to be the angry black woman, and Sutton is caught off guard by this, and then we see in a flashback that Sutton on the after show, sitting next to Garcel, said, oh, well, I just feel like Bose is angry with me, and Garcel didn't say anything, and Bose also has a problem with that, and her feelings are valid because Sutton, you know, her wording could be a little bit iffy sometimes, especially, you know, that connection with her mom that she has, and we'll get to that, but you know, Sutton was just like, no, I never said any of that. I didn't mean it like that. I mean, you were yelling at me. And I'm just like, Sutton, again, your wording is not making a good case for yourself. And what's so interesting is that Bose admitted on the first part of the reunion that she's watched the show before. She studied it. So I'm guessing that she's seen how Dorit has been acting towards Garcel in the past seasons, yet you still want to be besties with her. I'm confused because, I mean, if you have an issue with Sutton, I'm just assuming that you have an issue with Dorit's problematic behavior in the past as well. But, okay, so then Andy, he was just like, well, you know, Lisa Barlow. And I'm like, wait, what? Of course, Lisa's always at the scene of the crime, right? Lisa Barlow has said that Dorit is pretty, but Sutton, you said, oh, well, you know, of course she's pretty with all that surgery. Well, I mean, if she did get any work done to her face, I mean, at least she looks good. And then Dorit, I'm telling you, Dorit was acting like a wild hyena at this reunion. She was just, she tells Sutton, well, you know what, Sutton? The fact that you're talking about me like this, I know for next time to come even harder at you. And you know what? Guess what? If I wanted to make you out to be an alcoholic, if I wanted to paint you out to be an alcoholic, I could do way, way, way worse than what I already said. And I'm just like, whoa, Dorit, like, what the hell did they put in her first seat? I mean, she's not even activated. I mean, she is just Dorit turbo mode. Like, that is crazy. And I was with Sutton. Sutton tells her, wait a minute, are you threatening me? It was 2 threats in like a matter of 30 seconds. Like, that is crazy, Dorit. Like, calm the hell down. It's not that serious. Then Erica takes aim at Sutton, and she feels that she's constantly kicking everybody else down at their lowest. And she tells her, you know, Sutton, I do want to like you. I want to be friends with you because I do enjoy our time together, but I just feel like you're constantly low blowing everybody when they're at their lowest. And that's not nice because you did it to me. And I was upset about that. So Sutton was just like, well, why do you continue bringing this situation up between me and you? You know, from years ago, you know, that whole iconic Tom situation that Erica went through. And Erica was just like, no. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about, you know, everything that happened in St. Lucia. And, you know, you constantly just, you know, you're kind of just, you're not a nice person. Like, I do want to like you. I do like the sweet side of you. And does it look like Sutton sometimes low blows them at their lowest? Possibly. Am I okay with that? Possibly. Why? Because the Fox 4 flunkies, or whatever they call each other, they always gang up on one person every other season, and they have each other's back. You know, Lisa Rinna, Kyle, Dorit, even Diana Jenkins and her tongue. You remember her. And Erica Jane, all of them team up against Sutton. But yet now, because Sutton, she threw one little comment at Dorit, oh, my wallet's bigger. Now everybody's, you know, clutching their invisible pearls that Erica Jane and Dorit can't afford. Now all of a sudden, oh, that's too much. You're kicking me at my lowest. But yet everybody was allowed to basically bulldoze Sutton season after season these past couple of years. Okay, it's just so interesting how the rules change, right? So Andy asked Garcel, do you think that Sutton throws a tantrum anytime her behavior is called out? And Garcel surprisingly said, well, yeah, I can see how that looks that way, especially depending on who's coming at her. And I'm like, wow, Garcel, okay, you know, you're finally opening up your eyes to this whole friendship with Sutton. Honestly, it was probably the first part of the reunion where Garcel opened up her eyes like, yeah, I'm done defending this old tacky bitch. But then she also said, well, you know what? Honestly, I'm just done answering any of these questions. Like right now, I'm really genuinely pissed off. So Andy was just like, wait, no, I want to know what's going on. Why are you pissed off? She goes on to explain that, you know, honestly, I just feel like the rules are different for me. I feel like, you know, I get no grace in this group. Nobody in this group has smiled at me. And even though I'm trying to understand Garcel, and I did understand her the first part of the reunion, you know, because everybody was just coming at her crazy. But at the same time, Garcel, you talk a lot of shit in the confessional, and that's always been her problem, right? Like for seasons, you always do that. And then you come into the reunion and you just expect people to just come at you with open arms. It doesn't work like that. Like, of course, they're going to see what you talked about them in the confessionals. And then, you know, they're going to feel some type of way about you and they're going to want to confront you. The only issue is that Garcel, she can't stand to be in the hot seat. And now that she is, we see that she can't handle it. We've never given any type of grace to Erica Jane whatsoever, not even an ounce of it. You know, season after season after season, she was in the hot seat over the whole situation with Tom and her, you know, scandals or whatever. And she was constantly just question after question after question until, you know, she finally broke. And, you know, now that you're getting a somewhat of a taste of it, now you're like, oh, you know, no, this is too much. You know, everything is different with me, et cetera, et cetera. Look at Kyle. You know, for all that Kyle does, she's constantly in the hot seat. And, you know, she just sits there and just constantly takes it from everybody else. But, you know, so Garcel, I don't know. It's a very sticky situation. It's just very unfortunate. But Andy tells them, since they're all single, have any of you been in heat lately? And all of them raise their hands. And I'm looking at Kathy like, Kathy, raise your hand too. You know your husband's not doing anything. I raised my hand too secretly. But then that's when I had the epiphany that I feel like it's way overdue for a whole entire reboot of this show. Like we need a whole different cast of different women, different lives, different careers, different husbands, different marriages, different toxic marriages. You know, because at this point, what more can they give us? Specifically, Kyle, I wish that they had the guts to get rid of Kyle. I know that they won't because for some reason, you know, this whole OG thing, oh, Kyle has been on the show since day one. Apparently that matters for some reason. I'm pretty sure that they could replace her with somebody who will actually be honest with us and give us much more. I mean, I appreciate Kyle for everything that she's given us since day one and everything that she hasn't given us since day one. But it's time for her to, you know, just to go. You know, like, what more can we see of her? We've seen her life just spiral out of control many, many different times, unless she's actually going to be honest about Morgan. So then Andy transitions over to Garcel. Let's talk about your body count. I'm like, whoa, what kind of transition is this? I thought this was the classy reunion. And then he starts listing the people that Garcel has been with, like Will Smith. Will Smith caught me off guard. Like, you know, since when did she sleep with him? You know, that's impressive, but okay. So, and I'm looking at Erica, like, Erica, is she interesting now? Is she less boring to you now that you know that who she's been sleeping with? You know, because according to Erica, you know, Garcel, she needs to be upside down, making eggs, you know, in a split, fucking everybody in Hollywood just to be interesting, according to Erica, right? So then they start talking about Erica and her life and, you know, the whole situation with her son, you know, the cop. He was involved in the whole situation with Rihanna's boyfriend, A$AP Rocky, which was crazy. I'm like, wow. Again, the Real Housewives always at the scene of the crime, right? And I'm looking at Kyle like, Kyle, are you not going to keep the same energy that you told Garcel not too long ago? You're not going to tell Erica, oh, how come we don't see your son on the show? No, you're not? Okay. So then Erica, she starts talking about the whole situation with Tom and, his convictions and how he was found guilty for wired fraud and, just the insane, like Tom was just doing way too much. And, to this day, I still cannot believe that Erica is still on the show, sitting there and not in jail, because you can't tell me that Erica didn't know anything that was going on. Like, please. So then Andy asks Erica, do you think that you're going to get in contact with him? And, Erica's response, I mean, it was very cold, but warranted. She was just like, honestly, I feel like the day that I do confront Tom about anything is going to be when he's in his grave, when he's dead. And I'm just like, wow, damn, Erica. And I can already picture it now. Tom, he passed away. He's in his grave. Erica, she shows up and I could just picture her just being upset. Like, you lying motherfucker. You left me with no money. Now I'm broke and I'm looking for a storyline and I have no money. I have no private jet planes. And she's just kicking him down. I could just see it now. Like, that is crazy. But Andy asked her, do you think that he was actually guilty in any of this? Like, now that everything is actually, in the verdict. And Erica, she still refused to answer. I mean, she was smart about it. She was just like, honestly, it doesn't really matter what I have to say. It's about the law. And I'm just like, ooh, your therapist has been teaching you how to word these answers correctly. So then they start talking about Sutton's relationship with her parents, and I am very surprised that they never brought up how Sutton's mom, Reba, was behaving so disgustingly towards Garcel that one episode. They never, not once, ever mentioned anything of it. Like, they just pretended like it was never happening, like it was just regular behavior, that was it, and we just sweeped it underneath the rug. Not a fan question, conversation, nothing. Andy did ask Garcel, what did you think about Reba? Garcel, she kind of hinted at it, like, oh, a lot of people have their views on her, but she was a very sweet lady. Sweet to who? To Kyle, maybe so, but to you, no. Like, Garcel, you're much better than me. Like, I get it that, you're trying to be nice, I guess, for Sutton, but no. I would have just told Andy, oh, Reba? Yeah, fuck that old racist bitch. I mean, that's what she was. You can't tell me that lady is not racist. Like, that is just crazy. And then even Sutton, I don't know what I expected of Sutton, honestly, because she already disappointed me this entire reunion. But, she could have at least said, oh, I just wanted to mention, a lot of people have their concerns about Reba and how she was acting towards Garcel. Say something. But again, what do we expect from Sutton at this point? She's not going to defend Garcel ever. And it's very obvious this whole entire reunion. And it's very disappointing. So we start talking about Kyle and her, the fallout between her, Mauricio. She kind of sort of somewhat sprinkles Morgan here and there, but not really. And she just went on and on and on. At first, I was listening like, okay, Kyle. Okay, okay, she's hurt. Yeah, okay, she's crying. Typical reunion for Kyle. Okay, she's crying. Okay, she's getting a napkin. Oh, okay, she's talking in circles. Okay. Can you turn the air conditioner on? Okay. Okay, she's talking about Mauricio again. Okay. Like, I went to the bathroom twice and she was still talking. It just went on and on and on. I kind of think there wasn't 3 parts of this reunion. I secretly think that they snuck in a 4th one. Because Kyle just kept going and going. She was just like, me and Mauricio, we've just really been going through it, a lot lately. And, I found messages on his phone and everything, and it was just really hard and everything. And
1 hour later,
when I found those pictures, I couldn't bear it anymore because, I that was my husband. I couldn't believe it.
2 hours later.
And I saw that there were rumors of him sleeping with Dorit, but I never believed that. But you never know nowadays. But it was just really hard to get through all of this.
Many unbearable hours later.
And I'm still trying to figure out my sexuality. Like, I'm probably going to go to West Hollywood this weekend and, go to the clubs there and maybe dance a little bit and maybe do a split or 2. Enough already. Like, she went on and on for like, I believe it was like 45, 46 minutes. Just to give us nothing. I'm like, what did she exactly say? Like, she lost me after like the first 5 minutes. But, eventually that was that. The reunion is slowly coming to a close, and Andy, he goes around like, okay, so what did everybody, gain from this whole experience this season? Dorit, she was just like, well, you know what, Andy? I genuinely feel like I gained a friend for life. Bose is going to be my bestie for life. And she's gonna be on my side for next season. So yes. Garcelle kind of, her answer was, well, you know, I'm happy that I saw the whole relationship between Sutton and her mom, because it really revealed a lot of things to me. And I'm just like, oh, what is that supposed to mean? Because I feel like that was like a shady dig towards Sutton. Like, oh, Sutton, I see who you really are now because of your mom. Like, the apple doesn't, what's the thing? The apple doesn't fall too far from the tree or whatever. I feel like she was taking a jab at Sutton, rightfully. So, I mean, Andy, he was just like, okay, we're going to get some watermelon drinks, because Dorit, so we're all going to do a toast. And I'm just like, uh-oh. Here comes the moment that Garcel's about to walk off, right? So then they get up, Jennifer Tilly. I like that Garcel at least let Jennifer Tilly do her little toast. They toasted, and then Andy was so nasty. Did anybody see what he did? He toasted, and I guess he had some watermelon on his mouth, on his fingers, and he was just like, I'm like, ew, Andy. Like, you've been sitting on the stage for like 12 hours and he's just like, whoa, like just putting all his fingers in his mouth. Like, you nasty, just so gross. Go get some hand sanitizer. So then he was just like, okay, so, we're all gonna take a group photo right now. So let's get together. So then Garcel, Garcel was thinking, these bitches really gonna think that they're gonna post me on Instagram. I don't think so. Let me get ready for my walk off. Can somebody give me my sandals? She already started lifting up her dress, like, let me get ready before I trip. No, I'm not gonna do this right now. I'm out. Production, make sure that you get my walkthrough out, okay? Okay, are the cameras filming? Give me 1 second, Andy. 1 second, Kyle. Are the cameras rolling? Okay, they are? Okay, now I'm out. And then she walked off. Here goes Andy. Come on now. Come on. Garcel, come on. Are you serious? Come on. She walked off. She was like, I'm not doing this. And she walked off like the bad bitch that she is. And, I won't be surprised that we never see Denise Richards ever again. And that's the last time we ever see of Garcel on a reunion stage as of now. But then I'm looking at Sutton. I'm waiting for her, like, okay, she's gonna put the drink down. She's gonna follow. Any minute now, she's gonna run behind Garcel, her bestie, right? Mm-hmm. You're not gonna go? Okay, I thought so. I was so disappointed in Sutton. What, again, for the 100th time this reunion? Like, Garcel literally went with you when you pretended to faint last season at the reunion because Kathy was coming out. She went with you to the hospital. You couldn't even go after Garcel. She probably contemplated, like, you know what? If I do go after her, I'm not gonna get to, post my picture with Kathy in the group photo. Like, I want to post this on Instagram. Let's see. Garcel, Instagram picture with Kathy and Kyle. Okay, let's take a picture. Like, I'm pretty sure that's how she made her decision. Like, that is so disappointing. And Sutton, all I'm gonna say is good luck for next season. So then Garcel, she's on the back. Oh, speaking of Dorit, she gets upset at this, and all of a sudden she's like, Garcel, are you serious? Oh, that's just very unprofessional. Unprofessional, my ass. First of all, I hate the word unprofessional. I just don't like it. And the fact that you're saying this, Dorit, after you've been acting like a complete crazy woman the entire season, now, you want to be all, classy and everything, and you're unprofessional? Your bank account is unprofessional. Let's talk about that. That whole robbery situation was unprofessional. And then I also wonder, Garcel, did she time this perfectly? Because it just so happens at the very beginning of the reunion, she was just like, my intention is to get a group photo. And now that the group photo is here, she walks off. So I feel like she always had this plan to never have been in the group photo to begin with. Okay, so then they take the group picture. Sutton, you're just so spineless. And, Bose is also upset that Garcel walked off. And I'm like, Bose, you really think that this group of women, like, really care about you like that? Like, you really think that they won't just turn on you like the same way that they did on Garcel or Sutton or just anybody who's not in their, initial core group? Like, good luck to you too. But Garcel, she's in the back. And again, going off, not to anybody's faces. She was just telling her assistant or somebody. She was just like, F that, because they're all fake. They're all this, they're all that. She took off her dress and, she's just going off. And I'm like, again, why couldn't you say that in person? I mean, it wouldn't have made a difference at this point. But I mean, if you're going out like this, you might as well just do it to their face. But I'm gonna miss Garcel because I loved her. I loved her prior to the show. That's why I got into Beverly Hills again, because I saw when Garcel was casted. I'm like, oh, wait a minute, Garcel. And she got me tuned into the show again, and now she's leaving. And Sutton, again, good luck with you. I feel like Sutton should also leave. I feel like Sutton, I wish that she could walk away from the show as well, and then really throw a whole different dynamic into the show, because without Sutton, where are they gonna go with the show? Because she's target number one at this point for next season. They're all gonna come at you, Sutton. You just don't know it yet. So I wonder, where is this casting gonna go? Like, honestly, again, like I said, a whole reboot. So then Sutton, after the reunion, she goes backstage, finally after 5 hours, to look for Garcel, right? She's like, wait, where's Garcel? We were supposed to have dinner. Honestly, Sutton, it just goes to show that the friendship that you and Garcel had over all these seasons, it was just never there. It was just for convenience, just because both of you were in the same, predicament, if you will. But just very disappointed, Garcel. I will miss you. I'll miss her, and what she brought onto the show. But she'll be fine even off the show. Like, if anything, like, you're doing yourself a favor. But let me know what you all thought about this whole entire reunion. Are you gonna miss Garcel? What do you think about the dynamics of the whole entire cast? Do you think that they should reboot, or like add somebody else? Or I guess we'll see. But let me know down in the comments. Bye, everybody. Mwah.